1 second, I might break up a little bit. I needed to get a phone charger.
All right.
I'm here, but so we're gonna play tonight. It's gonna be 3, which is what I prefer to have at least. Tanner warned me he wasn't gonna be here last week, or he said
just left for work 10 minutes ago.
Yep. So, one thing I do want to let you guys know about before, I don't know what kind of free time you guys got, but there is a thing I started teaching with Fantasy Grounds College, and they're having a anniversary weekend this weekend, and what they're doing is they're doing a bunch of one-shots. I'm going to put it in the general. But if you have an interest in playing any one-shots or for like Fantasy Grounds for free, try out a game for about 4 hours, 2 hours. You have tons of them. The website's on there. I'll share the link. I don't give a crap if anybody wants to go. Like, they have so many games, they're not ever going to fill up. But I wanted to just let you guys know if you guys wanted to play any, they're available. It's free. It's what they do.
I might look into it.
And that link, you can scroll down. They got various one-shots. There's some Call of Cthulhu stuff. There's a lot of 5th edition. There's some, I think, last night they ran the Stranger Things campaign from the one, the starter set with Stranger Things. But there's a bunch of availability. Just so you know. So, and to our game, quick recap, since we've switched to 2-week games for now. Our kids go back to school in 2 weeks. Thank the gods. And if you guys don't recall, Ben, did you get a chance to catch up with that?
Yes. Yeah, I looked over the recording.
Outstanding. So where we left off, you guys had popped up in this glorious place with your newfound friend, Glabagula, a recently sentient gelatinous cube, which are not sentient. Exactly 0% of the time they are sentient. Typically, sentience takes around intelligence 9, 8 is a really dumb sentient creature. The gelatinous cubes have a standard intelligence of 1. So, I mean, this is not even the smartest of them still coming in 6 or 7 points below what's required to be a sentient living organism. The Glabagul is somehow magically sentient. So you guys rescued him / used him to help rescue you because you guys had a rough time in that ruins you found underneath the Dark Lake. You formed a crack, or you widened a crack and swam up, and you were able to get out. The small issue was this is where you surfaced. You surfaced here, and I'm going to give you another description of what's around you. And before I do that, I want to mention one thing, and then I'm going to give you a chance to ask questions about the recap. But for those of you who are not aware, Fantasy Grounds Unity had their Kickstarter in May. That's the new version of Fantasy Grounds, the full what is it called? The advanced vision. I'll just start. I don't know if that's the name of it, but it's basically your token can unmask as it moves. It has doors, things like that, and their alpha starts in a week, which means the estimation is that their beta will start in 2 months ish. We will discuss at the time whether we want to do the beta for our group, but that is coming in a few weeks to a few months, so just be aware of that. Anybody any questions on the recap before we start the game?
None for me.
We had a little rest, correct?
You have not, to my knowledge, had a rest. We stopped as soon as you guys surfaced. You guys surfaced, like, you cracked open the ceiling of the cave, and you swam out, and you surfaced here. And you swam over to the edge. So we're going to be picking up the game. You guys just got out of what was called the Oozing Temple. You swam to the edge. You climbed out. Many of you were bleeding, bloody, wounded, and dripping wet. And that's where we're going to pick up. You guys haven't had any amount of rest. So what you see around you is a number of mushrooms. The cave is a lot like a funnel. So the water is the lowest point. You see those ridges around the edges there. Those are ledges that are a 10-foot drop. So if you were to walk up, you use Indomitable Spirit. If you were to walk up to here, it'd be a 10-foot climb up to here. There are Trillimac mushrooms, which are the green, and Timask mushrooms. You know of them from your earlier experiences in the Underdark. Your characters do. The Timask mushrooms and the Trillimask are very different in terms of the Trillimac, that's the green ones, are about 4 to 5 feet tall, and they tend to serve as, besides decoration, they can be chopped down and processed into food. The Tamask mushrooms are well known in the Underdark. Those are going to be the tan ones, that they are poisonous, and if you hit them or get too close to them, they will actually explode. But they're
Really?
not intelligent hunters. They're just, that's the way they spread. So in general, it's best not to hit them or do damage to them in any way that you can avoid. Passing by one won't cause it to blow up. Getting too close, bumping into it will.
Okay.
So that's where we're picking up, and I will let you guys decide if you do want to take a rest. It's pretty clear something lives here, so bear that in mind.
Can we see any exits, or is it like walls all the way around?
Right here is a spiral staircase going up.
Wow, I
It is
100%. How did I miss that?
It is a carved stone spiral staircase. Not like, I mean, it's absolutely stonework. And Hemeth tells you it is Dwergar stonework.
I have absolutely 0 spell slots, just so y'all know.
I check around to see if there's anything outside of the ordinary, aside from the stone staircase.
There's not. There's nothing out of the ordinary, except you can see, as you do take a look around, there are claw marks, something along the lines of a large 5-footed creature with talons.
Yeah, because
There are numerous small footprints around the stone staircase. They strangely resemble Kosjurkis' feet.
Ooh, I'm gonna take this as a good sign.
Now I understand that these ledges are like 10 feet up, so I wouldn't be able to Ah, dang it. I'm so used to. All right. Can I?
You have a climb speed.
You do
Yeah.
have a climb speed.
Walls
You
do
can.
not mean anything to you.
All right, hang on. I'm trying to. I can't exactly see this, like this yellow area from where I'm at currently. Is this correct?
You can see part of it because it is at an angle, so you can see things at the top. They're just not easily reached. It is a patch of yellow fungus. You don't know what kind of yellow fungus. In general, it is common knowledge in the Underdark, passed on to you from Pupito and Jimjar and various other Underdark creatures, that yellow is the color of many different funguses. Some of them are very, very deadly, and some of them are absolutely not, but they are avoided.
So, common wisdom would probably say
Leave it
ignore
alone.
it then. Yeah. Okay.
Don't fuck with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't. The only thing I could think of would probably maybe be to check out the staircase, since that would be the only logical location to investigate.
Oh,
And
Just a heads up on magical resources. Your healer is out.
yeah,
O-U-T.
can I sneakily climb up the staircase and just see what's at the top?
You absolutely can.
All right, here we go. Climbing up the staircase, see what's on all fours. What's up there?
So, just an FYI, I debated on making my own maps for this, but I changed my mind and I kept the old maps.
Hmm.
So these are not my maps, but
Is that a disclaimer due to the simplicity of them?
it is.
Heads up, I didn't make this shit.
They're not bad. I don't hate them, but it is worth mentioning that I did not make them.
Hmm.
So you see a hallway there. You're the only one who can see the map, by the way. It's up to you to share what you see. You see a hallway, and it has two intersections, one close, one far. And I unmasked a little more than you probably would be able to see. You can see some doors down there at the end,
Any
but
light or just
there
pitch
is
black?
no light. It is pitch black, and it beyond a shadow of a doubt is this exactly what Hemeth described it as. This is dwarven stonework. Some of the indications of that are that the stones that are, it is cut stone. It is a built above ground or underground structure, but the stones are made to fit together in such a way that they don't require mortar. It is expert craftsmanship for sure.
Just gonna see if I can hear anything. Anyone talking or moving around up in here?
You don't hear anything in particular moving any which way. You, from here, you can't make out any substantial amount of noise. It isn't necessarily quiet. There is assorted shuffles here or a occasional noise there, but none of it is distinct. It's more background noise. You
Okay.
hear something fall occasionally.
Right. Alright, I'm just gonna quickly creep up to the edge of here. Do I need to roll a new stealth check for that, or?
You do not.
Okay. And just quickly peek down either side of the corridor, see what's down there?
Oh, I turned the volume on my gaming music up. I thought it was quiet. It was delayed. So it goes down a short distance to your right to a solid wall. There is only one door there. Every once in a while, it's nice to just let you guys see the maps that I don't make, so you appreciate them. To the left, there are multiple doors.
Are any of these doors open that I can see, or just all closed?
They are all closed and they are all stone doors. It doesn't appear that any of them even have locks on them to be locked.
Okay. Just gonna quickly dart across to the next place. Still trying to be sneaky, so just let me know if I ever need to reroll.
No, you'll find out, I promise.
Oh, okay. And just peek down either side of these. Oh heck.
So, hold
Oh
on.
no!
No, I need to catch up with a couple things. You're a very fast moving token, but right about here,
Uh-huh.
as you're taking a step over that way. What in the hell? Sorry, I thought I had a dog near me. Felt something vibrate.
Your dogs
But
typically vibrate.
no, I felt it was him hitting my foot. Then I realized he was not here, so it must have been my phone across the room. So at this point, you take a step, and in rapid glory, you have a pit trap open up underneath you.
Oh boy.
I agree.
But I'm very light, Tony.
You are, and I understand that.
Oh jeez.
I'm not going to put that on there. It exceeds 30 pounds. Sadly, you have 25 pounds of gear, and you are 25. So I'm going to need a dexterity saving throw.
Okay.
I have faith in you.
I do too. Here we go. Oh shit.
Look at you. So the trap snaps open. You manage to make it all the way across before the trap gets open onto the ground. As you peek back, the trap is, again, expertly designed by dwarven hands, and at the bottom are sharpened stone
Oh, fuck.
spikes. That would have hurt.
Alright, okay.
As you make it over, you notice that some springs somewhere down there reset the trap. So had you fallen in, you would have stayed in.
I would have.
It does look like that with your passive perception, you're of 11 now that you know it's there. Cutting the corners, about like that, would probably keep you from activating it. It's the weight in the center.
Okay. I'm gonna roll a perception here and make sure that nobody heard anything. See if I can. Let's see. Does
You
it,
don't hear
nobody's
any
coming?
additional noises.
Alright. Gonna. Oh. I'm gonna move to there.
I'll unlock your token and unmask that end piece for you. So to your right, you have numerous doors as well. And to your left, the exact same thing. There is nothing clear. Very straightforward architecture, very straightforward engineering. Cube, Dwergar. Engineering tends to not have a lot of fluff, a lot of design, straight squares.
Alright, gonna make my way back downstairs. I don't want to fuck with this room any more than I have to.
Yeah, you missed that passive perception by like 4 or 5, so you weren't even hoping to catch that.
Oh, jeez.
I'll just move you back down. Everybody's standing around in eager anticipation there.
He comes scuttling back down the stairs. Found hole!
Did you now?
And many doors. He spreads his arms wide.
Interesting.
Maybe we should go in and look around.
I would say that this would warrant some investigation, yeah.
Okay.
But I also think that maybe we should rest up first at some point.
Agree.
Okay.
1 second. I do need to, and I'm playing it every 2 weeks instead of 1. And I want to go over Sorcerer and Kosjurkis. And your wizard, right? Yeah, that's what I thought. So I do want to mention 2 things to you guys real quick. So for Ophelia, I think you're, flexible casting. I just want to make you aware of something that you have. I just need to pull it up. Sorcery points. Okay, disregard. I thought you might get some of your sorcery points back when you took a short rest, but you don't. You need a full-on long rest. But wizards, you do get spell slots back. You know about that. Right?
Arcane recovery. Very good.
So, yeah, I didn't know about that. So I'll let you guys discuss it and decide.
I mean, I'm good for a short rest myself because I know that I get all of my key points back on a short rest, but as
About
far
how
as
long has it been since we've had like a proper rest? Would you say?
If I were to define it, I would probably say it's far too long, but that's just me.
Like, are you feeling sleepy?
After everything that we've been through, who wouldn't be?
I blame terrorism personally. It's your decision.
I feel like we've already learned the danger. I want to say long rest, but I feel like we've already learned the dangers numerous times of taking a long rest.
Well, I mean, to be fair,
But
this
if you
is
feel,
this is the Underdark. There is no truly safe area in this area.
I mean, to be fair, if you truly learned it, why would you want to do it?
I feel like not everything is as dangerous as we think it is, you guys. Let's just take turns, have a long rest. Everything will work out.
I mean, we do have a new friend, Glabagul here. He doesn't actually need to sleep, right?
Hasn't been alive. He hasn't been conscious long enough to know if he needs to sleep or not.
Because I would suggest maybe, hey, let's use the gelatinous cube as a freaking sentry. That's my only best idea. It's probably not a good one, but it's the best idea I've got.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Why not? Let's see what happens.
I mean, we could still take shifts. I mean, I don't have a problem taking first watch.
Okay.
So.
All right. What's the shift rotation? Who's
Spirit first.
Yeah, I'll take first.
Kosjurkis can take second.
I guess I'll take third.
all right? 1, 2. Huh. And I'll put Agile Smoke on 4 and Rolen on 5. No rolls are necessary. That involves passive perceptions. And that's an easy one to do. So you guys settle in for a long rest. Well, I will, at a minimum, apply you a short rest. I'll give you that. You got a short rest.
Mm-hmm.
So, at a minimum. Unfortunately, not quite a long rest. Not quite the long rest that you would hope to get. First things first, as after you get your short rest, you can apply your hit dice from the front of your character sheet at the bottom. I think each of you should have 4 to heal up if you want to. I'm going to use Agile Smokes to heal him up because I feel like that's what he would want. All right, he's at full.
Probably Rolen too.
That would be my assumption next. I was just doing it one at a time. All right.
Just making sure, Tony.
It's a good point, nonetheless.
My cleric instincts are kicking in as I see all these red numbers.
I was about to say, yeah, because I was at like 21 red, and
I personally feel like this is a little too bright. So let's go ahead and darken this up because we can't have the Underdark seeming so nice and kind. And Rolen, last but not least, with his 4. Let's see what he comes out. He used all 4 of his to get back. And that, yeah, he used all 4 and came 1 positive. Unfortunately, NPCs don't have that ability. And Indomitable, just so you know, you have 2 left.
yeah, I know. I was just kind of curious why my health was in the red when it said it was like it was 21 out of 27, but it was in the red. So I'm like,
Yeah, that's because it tracks how much damage that's how much
Ah.
damage you've taken, and it's not
okay.
a countdown. Yeah.
You have it's 21 damage out of 27 possible damage. So you had
Oh.
6 hit points left.
Okay, so all right. I think I'll be all right for the time being.
So what you do wake up to is an unusual looking kobold. And I really truly do wish I had a good solid picture of him, but it is a kobold. He's carrying this shield. That's the only picture I have.
Oh, what a tragedy.
What a tragedy. He surfaces out of the water on the back of a black dragon.
Oh fuck.
I'm not getting any pictures of my
They're in
end.
the-
Oh, I see him. Never mind. Give me
Yeah.
a t-
Well, no, this is a. See, now, you all think this is a bad thing, but Kosjurkis thinks this is a great turn of events.
So the black dragon is not a huge black dragon as you would imagine. He is a small black dragon. He's pretty young. Dragons, the way dragons act, they actually grow with age in both magical power, strength, and size. So you can tell a dragon's strength by his size, but it's typically a bad bet to bet that a small dragon is a weak dragon. Just as a general rule, dragon is not good thing to be coming to blows with. I will also point out that this is an enjoyable little picture there of that dragon. I don't think I can share that one, can I? Okay, I tried. The kobold on his back, though, the kobold is wearing actual forged armor, which is unusual for kobolds, Kosjurkis notwithstanding. He is wearing breastplate armor, a metal shield that has a symbol on it. He has a actual forged short sword, but in his arm is a magical staff on across his back, and his hands is a light crossbow, which he has leveled at you.
Uh-oh.
And he says, "You are all awake." It surfaced slowly. The creature slowly surfaced, took a good solid long look at you, wasn't hiding, was making sure he was seen by you. And then he says, "Lay down your arms and you will be taken alive. You have invaded the lair of Murk. You are now our prisoners."
Does he say that in common or draconic or what?
He says it in Undercommon.
Interesting.
So I speak up and say, "Hey friends, we're just getting some rest for the night. We didn't mean to intrude. We're very sorry. We can just get our things and head on out."
He doesn't reply. He seems to be waiting for you to capitulate to your instructions.
I mean, he didn't say no, so.
I kind of lean forward over towards Ophelia, and I'm like, why don't we let our kobold do the talking on this one? Maybe we might have some common ground on this.
We can try.
I turned to Kosjurkis. He's like, yeah, he's another kobold. Maybe I don't know.
Kosjurkis is already has his weapons on the ground, and he seems to be staring at the dragon in reverence.
I turned back to Ophelia, and I'm like,
Curse your
okay.
sudden but inevitable betrayal.
Yeah.
So I look back at you and say, "Let's get our things and walk away very slowly."
Oh fuck.
To say, I just kind of grip my staff and I just slowly begin to like back my way back toward the stairs.
The kobold on the dragon's back says, "You will find no easy route out that way. It would be less painful for you and us for you to surrender. We would be able to take you alive, but it would be painful for all involved. We can discuss your trespassing and making amends, assuming you're alive to do so."
I hate to admit it as much as I don't want to, but maybe going with the dragon it wouldn't be the worst idea. I mean, honestly, even with our strength, we're no match for a dragon. We're just not.
I mean, it's a dragon. So.
I mean, hey, if you want to tussle with the dragon, I mean, by all means, go for it. I'm not going to.
So I asked the dragon, where is he wanting to take us, assuming it's a he?
The dragon doesn't respond to you, but the armored kobold on his back says, "You will be disarmed and taken to the brig for our safety. And then Severasti, our leader, will talk to you."
Well, everybody make sure you put a knife in your prison wallet.
Oh, fuck, not again. I just realized that Kosjurkis doesn't actually have any weapons. He is the weapon. You fools. I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me.
I mean, to be fair, the quarterstaff I've got is essentially just a stick. If I need to, I can always craft another one.
This is the nice thing about a party of pastors. The NPCs, the villains take away your weapons. You're like, whatever.
I mean, if the group wants to go, we'll go. But I feel like we should not go with the dragon.
But we can't fight a dragon.
But I don't want to go.
This could have a happy ending. Nobody has to die.
All right, do I even have a weapon? I'm not putting my crown down.
You do. You have daggers and you have armor and a holy symbol, but what they're asking for is your weapons, spell component pouches, and they don't expect you to take all your armor off. They're not. He's hoping to find a middle ground because he thinks he could take you guys alive, but he'd probably have to expend some resources doing so. So he's asking that you lay down your weapons, spell component pouches, holy symbols, things that you could use to hurt them, but you could keep your armor.
To say, I laid down Ramnol's spear and my quarterstaff.
It's so morbid that you carry around the spear that almost killed Ophelia.
Yeah.
Good old Ramnol.
Alas, I never did much with it anyway.
The NPCs follow your lead. So Ophelia, they'd be asking you to lay down your daggers and the materials you use to cast your spells.
Okay, I lay down my daggers.
I mean, to be fair, if it was just the Kobold, I'd be like, if you want my weapons, you can come pry them from my cold dead hands. But I have a mission, and I'm not going to endanger that for the sake of fighting a dragon.
Kosjurkis, you lay down everything. Agile, Smoke, and Rolen are going to follow your lead because they're not here, as will the NPCs. So what about you, Spirit? You lay down your quarterstaff and your spear,
Yeah,
you said?
I just said I did that, yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to verify.
Yeah.
And Ophelia, it seems that the guy on the back of the dragon is familiar with magic, and he indicates to your spell components, indicating that he wants those laid down too.
Can I put those in my prison wallet?
Unfortunately, that would take a little. That might be obvious when someone's watching you.
Can I go pee in privacy?
I will allow you to do a sleight of hand check to take enough stuff for 2 spells as you put the rest of it down. All right, you get enough stuff for 2 spells as you lay down the majority of your spell stuff. So we'll burn that bridge when we get there. The Kobold instructs you to turn around, go up the stairs, and they have guards waiting on you who will escort you to the brig where you will discuss the situation with their leader.
I'm like, hey, so long as they're not slapping us in cuffs. I'm like, okay.
There's a lot of cuffs.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a question. What's Glabagould up to?
Yeah, he's having himself a heck of a day. He's meeting all kinds of new people. They're talking in, loud voices. I mean, it's a damn good day for him.
Very
You
exciting.
get the general feeling that he probably doesn't have a firm grasp on the situation.
Yeah.
But the rest of you head upstairs. Yes or no?
Yep.
Yep. Can I let Globagool know that these are not friends, they are enemies?
Oh no.
You can.
We're not to fight yet, but I'll give him the nod when we are gonna fight.
Okay. What do you want him to do before that?
Just watch me.
I
Okay.
say,
So he
friend Glabagloo, we might need your assistance if things get hairy. Emphasis on the might.
You follow upstairs, and here is the map for upstairs. Coming. You can minimize the other map. I'm going to move all of your tokens onto the map. I'm not going to just drag 500 Kobold tokens onto the map, but in the hallway above you, it is filled with about 5 Kobolds with standard Kobold weaponry, and the others, there's 3 in the back carrying crossbows. They lead you to this room where they indicate all of you should either, for the most part, move into these cells or towards the back of the room. They are not moving to lock them, or more moving to have them. You can move your tokens. I'm moving you into the general area. As long as you're inside of the room like this, I'm fine with it. And you can move them anywhere you want. You do notice that they don't, the dragon himself does not follow you up.
Shockingly. Oh no, I'm in with the...
Inside of here, after you guys move in the doorway, you see a second kobold pop into visibility as if he were dropping an invisibility spell. And the last thing you should be aware of is there are 2 statues in this room, one in each corner. So I'm going to need old Mr. Globagool to scoot down just a touch. There's a statue there, and there's a statue on the other side. They look like they are dwarven made, they're dwarven sized, and they have their own weapons, and they are magical seeming in nature. They carry long swords, and here is a pretty picture of them.
Very cool.
Very old dwarven armor. You can close it when you're done. The kobold who popped into visibility is an extremely old-looking kobold leaning on a staff. It's an image of it there, that happy creature.
I think we chose the correct course of action, y'all.
The older kobold, in a stronger than you would anticipate voice, his scales are black. He looks you over and asks how you came to be here.
Well, it's a hell of a story.
I have the time.
Well, since no one else is speaking up, I'll go ahead and I confer to the old wizened kobold pretty much the whole story of everything that's unfolded since, we all met at Falconville and the tale of our escape and our travel since, what happened over at Slublu Dop, and basically that we were on our way to the Dwergar city of shit, what was that called again?
Oh, it's out of my brain.
It's on the tip of my tongue. I'll just
What
tell
was
them
it?
the Dwergar city. The name I can't remember.
Gracklestug.
Gracklestug, that was it. Tell them that, yeah, we were just on our way to Gracklestug. We found our way through we were on the rapids below, and we apparently got sucked into a vortex. Wound up in a temple underneath the Dark Lake where we met our new friend Globagul here, and we managed to get our way through the temple and pop up in another lake, and that was when you guys found us. And here we are.
The wizened kobold turns to the armored kobold and speaks in a very quiet voice so that you can't hear before he looks. What's that?
Curses.
Before he turns back to you and says, "You have invaded our home, but we are willing to consider your story to be truthful and offer you a method of making amends."
To say believe us, we had no intentions of making any sort of invasive. We were just in the wrong place at the wrong time.
The old kobold says, "We are in need of armor crafted by the dwarves of Gracklestug. Special armor resistant to acid. Kobolds are not considered worthy of doing business in Gracklestug, and the likelihood we would be killed on sight is higher than the likelihood of us being taken as merchants. If
So,
you are able to negotiate and deliver 50 suits of acid-resistant armor and acid-resistant weapons to us, we will consider this slight forgotten and offer you safe harbor for 10 days after your return.
now when you mean 50, you mean like 50, yes?
He kind of looks at you like you're a little slow, which is unusual because kobolds are generally considered a pretty retarded creature.
Well, I mean, my intelligence is 9, so I mean, I'm not the smartest.
He kind
I
of
mean-
looks over at Kosjurkis and Ophelia, the other 2 active members, and says, "Is this your representative?"
Kosjurkis nods.
I said I don't hear anyone else speaking up.
We accept your proposal, your oldness, and we would also like some food, and some rest. We're hungry and tired travelers. Thank you for your hospitality, your old.
He holds his hand up and says, "You will be given 2 days to rest and the means to purchase the goods, but as insurance, we will request that you leave half of your members safely with us to ensure you return with either the goods or our resources."
We'll leave 3.
Oh my god.
Roll a perception or persuasion. I saw that one, but I want you to roll a new one because you
Oh
just made it.
no.
He says 5.
4. Fuck! Okay, we'll take our rest now.
I was
All
about to
right,
say,
coming
well,
in.
I was about to say, I mean, 5 members of our people are fine. I mean, honestly, Stool can stay. Yeah, he's probably not going to be of much use to us. Sad to say.
I just want to say that Kosjurkis would like nothing more than to stay here permanently.
Yeah, he can stay. So that's 1 member. I mean, if we're
He says,
being given the money to make the purchase, if we're not having to scrounge that up on our own, I mean, that's perfectly fine with me.
he says he'll give you 2 days and this room to yourself. He warns you not to go wandering and not to disturb the statues. They are of dwarven make and they are not friendly.
You mean to tell me the statues are alive? I mean,
He
hey,
turns-
I believe that.
Go poke it with a stick.
He turns and hobbles off. And unsurprisingly, there are guards assigned outside of your door and in the hallway. Assuming you guys don't want to break out, then I will apply a long rest. If you want to break out, let me know.
No, I'm perfectly fine where I am.
Okay.
Yep.
Hemeth does let you know that I applied a long rest for you guys. Hemeth does let you know that it will take some doing in Gracklestug for you to get all of this made. You will need to speak to a specific. There's armor smiths in Gracklestug. Gracklestug has a number of difficult social things that need to be managed properly, and you should take him with you.
That's a good idea. I was thinking we should take Hemeth with us because he can act on our behalf as like an intermediary. To say we need to leave 5 people here, so let me just go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Globagul's staying behind.
Zhintara doesn't count.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm not counting Zrintara, no. Globagul's obviously staying behind because he's just a big boy. There, would. And besides, even if we did take him with us, I kind of get the feeling that the people of Gracklestug would be less than accommodating to a gelatinous cube, sentience or otherwise. Say, Bupito probably would be best off being staying here. Stool, obviously, we're leaving him here. Let's see. Kosjurkis has ever so volunteered to be behind, so we're going to go ahead and leave him here.
He wants to live here.
So that's... Yeah, I'm thinking Bupito would probably be best staying here, so that's all 5 of them, and...
I moved the ones to the left that you're talking about leaving.
Yeah.
There's 3.
Yeah. The only other person I could think of would either be Fargus or Gemjar. And, because everyone else can just go ahead and head up to the city. Alternatively, I'll volunteer to stay behind, because, I mean, the only other option I would think of to look up at Gracklestug would be to maybe search for a case of mummy rot, or be to search for the cure for mummy rot, and I don't think they'd be too happy with me deviating from our course of action to do that.
Okay. So who do you want to leave? I missed part of that.
I said either Fargus or Gemjar.
I mean, if you can leave both of them, that would be 5.
Okay. Well, yeah, let's go ahead and go with that then, unless anyone else has any other suggestions.
I'm fine with that.
So, yeah. I mean, at least it takes care of the NPCs on a meta level there. Well, at least we'll know they'll be safe.
Well,
Relatively speaking, anyway.
Are they, though?
Yeah.
Are they?
I mean, this is the Underdark. I mean, safe is a relative term for anything. By that to say that we're not safe at all. But, you know, you get lit.
So they offered to give you guys 2 days worth of rest before sending you on your way.
how far away is Gracklestug from here? Or up, or as far as we know?
They do come back to check on you. They, when you ask, they tell you that Gracklestug is going to be just over about 10 miles away, which is going to be about 10 hours, maybe 11 or 12.
Oh, that's not too bad.
As I mentioned over to the others, like, look, we'll head to Gracklestug, we'll get this taken care of as soon as possible, we'll be back for you.
But they don't really feel like they have a choice.
Yeah. I'm just trying to reassure them. I was like, you know, just in case you had, you know, fears that we were going to just F off and abandon you guys, don't worry, we're not that type of people. We'll be back for you.
Or we won't, you know? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Well, we're going to find out.
Well, I kind of get the feeling that Rolen would be the type of person to promise them that, yes, we will be back for you. Not Rolen, but Agile as well.
And Kosjurkis just wants to come back here so he can live here.
Well, we'll let you address that.
We'll worry about that. We'll burn that bridge when we get to it.
Yeah.
There we go. So they offer to provide you with a keel boat and the rations, if you need any, to sail into Gracklestug. They need 50 suits of acid resisted armor, obviously fitted for kobolds. But thankfully, you have a kobold-sized person in the party. If you guys are willing to accept that deal, then you can do any preparations you want, and let me know when you are ready to move.
To say I'm good with that. I mean, the only thing I would probably be doing would be just sit in my corner of the cell in meditation and attempt to levitate. Probably fail miserably.
Okay?
Are they giving us our gear back too, by the way?
On your boat.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kosjurkis doesn't really need to do anything else.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So I will close this map for you so you don't have so many maps in your face. And they take you through the area. For the general purpose, I'm going to let you guys. Let's see here. I'm going to let you guys see the map as you go up a little bit. Well, I'll show you later. I don't want to just repeatedly send you tons of maps. They take you up the stairs to a very clearly Dwergar built fortress, and they take you out of Portcullis and down to a dock, and they are on an island. Their fortress is on an island with a dock, and there are 3 keelboats on the general side of the dock. The other side looks like it may have people coming and going, or they may not, but one side is empty. They take you down, and they put you on a boat, and your weapons are there, and your spell components, everything that you laid down, along with a couple days worth of food, not a substantial amount, enough to get you to the city and back.
I say we're not allowed to have our rations that we had with Rolen and all that.
Well, yeah, that's just stuff they didn't take away from you.
Okay. Let's say because we should have plenty enough food and water to last us the journey, from just what we
Yes.
had. So yeah.
Plus his magic.
Yeah.
Okay, so what are you guys wanting to head to? You guys wanting to head there? I'm asking because I don't want to pigeonhole you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that seems the most reasonable course of action at this point.
You know, I've never learned to assume what a player thinks a reasonable course of action is. So
Well,
you
I mean,
guys
we've
start.
got options. I mean, there is the option that we could just run the hell away, but that would be abandoning our friends. Also, we would probably have a horde of goblins, a horde of kobolds, and a very pissed off black dragon at us, and that would be bad. Again,
I will say this though,
yeah.
they do give you the ability to, in a couple crates, that you have the resources to pay for things. It's a couple of trade bars, which are large bars of silver and gold.
Nice.
Each bar is worth 1,000 gold pieces. I believe it might be 100. Regardless, to give you some perspective, this is the Dark Lake. Let me zoom out a little bit. Hopefully that should have changed your view, but if it didn't, you might need to zoom out. This is where you started.
Okay.
You took this path here. It's the one you picked out of Velkenvelv to Slubludop. You probably, depending on where, this whole area is the Dark Lake. Through your Dark Lake journeys, you went to about right here.
Mm-hmm.
This is Gracklestug. So for demonstration purposes, I'm going to cover the map in gray, and I want to draw. See, I just exploded my map a little bit. Here we go. I'm going to cover the map in gray. I want to draw something so you understand when I go to explain it.
Okay.
So if you want to zoom out, I'm going to do a little drawing on the map. There is a very large It should come into view now. Hopefully you guys can see that drawing I did.
Yep.
So there's a very large chamber in the Underdark on the shore. On the shore of that chamber is a city. So if you imagine everything, I just drew another line. If you imagine everything on, I'm drawing some other stuff, everything away from there, I just drew those lines as the water. If that's the shore, Gracklestug is tucked into a huge cavern or a series of caverns on the edge of that lake.
Okay.
You guys see what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So they carved out a hole in the wall of a cavern that's on the shore of the Dark Lake and built a city into it. Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't, that's fine. We can learn as we go. It's not a huge deal. Because of that, I'm going to be explaining a couple things, and I want you guys to be able to get a good visualization. Now, as you guys are traveling, you guys pass underneath an area that is volcanically active about 2 hours out from Gracklestug. You pass underneath an area that has numerous dwarven built bridges above your heads. You assume it's probably related to the city. Here is that picture for you to see the entrance, not your entrance, but an entrance
Whoa.
to Gracklestug.
It's really cool.
I posted it in the chat there. I think it's pretty cool.
Sorry about that.
No worries.
But you guys are going to be entering from the docks, is what Hemeth told you. Now, he lets you know that it would be in your best interest to enter Gracklestug from an area or from a manner of not being seen. The docks are very busy, and it would probably be best if you weren't seen. That will require a little bit of work. The overall effort would be require a group stealth check or group survival check. And
Are those is that either or like all make survival or all make stealth, or is it like
either or. You guys can pick which one you want. And if you can if you can't and you choose to make your presence known, you will probably have to pay a dock fee and submit to inspections. He wants to kind of brief you on Gracklestug. From a DM out of character perspective, this is kind of important to go over because, just a heads up, I would probably estimate, depends on how things go. It's a general statement that Gracklestug will probably be somewhere between 3 and 12 game sessions.
Fair enough.
Right.
That's an estimation. I've seen it take more. Never seen it take less. Well, people died. I suppose we could call that less, but
yeah.
It's a thriving city, and Hemeth is going to kind of give you some basic information about it right now that I'd like you guys to kind of take a moment, get ready to absorb. If you want to scribble down some notes, you can do that.
Sure.
You don't have to. I don't recommend you all scribble down notes. I recommend that you guys can have somebody scribble down notes. Actually, let's do this. Let's go ahead and take a 5-minute break. I'm going to go ahead and use the restroom, and we'll go with the note taking. Whoever's going to take notes, just have a piece of paper ready to take them.
All right.
Who's doing it? Who's taking the notes?
I've got my character sheet already set up. I've got the notes section area to start typing away.
Very cool.
So
Your sacrifice has been noted.
all right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Hello.
I am also back. All right. So somebody was taking
That was me. Yeah.
notes? Okay. So I'm just going to give you general information, and if you wouldn't mind posting it on the website so everybody sees it. So
Okay.
if you don't want to, that's fine. I can. Just, are you taking it in the game?
Yeah, I'm taking it in game. I'm
Okay.
using my character sheet to do that.
I'll screenshot it. That's perfect.
All right.
Okay, so a couple things. Hemeth warns you as you guys saved his life from the Dwergar, or the Kawatoans at Sloop Blue Dop. He feels a life debt to you. So there are two groups that consider Gracklestug home: the Dwergar and the Darrow. Bupito is a Darrow. For many years, the Darrow were slaves. They are no longer slaves, but they are not equal. So that is something worth knowing. They tend to be living in areas of the city that tend to be poorer. Outsiders are tolerated, but they aren't protected. What I mean by that, and what he means by that is, you guys are coming into the docks district. Regardless of how you enter the city, outsiders are kept to the docks district unless they are given a badge of authority to exit the docks district. It is not uncommon for an outsider to break a law and a guard to sell them into slavery. You're not protected by the codes of justice of the Dwergar. Don't violate the rules. And another point there, all Dwergar have the ability to turn invisible every day. It is common knowledge in the deep dwarven city of Gracklestug that there are always invisible guards around. So everyone in the city acts as if there is someone invisible nearby listening at all times. It is recommended that you behave the same way.
Thought crime.
I just put Big Brother is watching.
The city's politics are as such. The Deep King is the leader of Clan Steel Shadow. They are weaponsmiths. They tend to do high quality weapons. Clan Ironhead is the clan that Hemeth is from. They are also weaponsmiths. They tend to do most of the everyday stuff. Weapons orders being sold to the Drow, which is very common. They do a lot of business with Menzo Barons, and they craft weapons, and they sell them standard weapons, and the Drow enchant the weapons on their own. Whereas the Clan Steel Shadow does the magical weapon crafting for Dwergar and others. So it's two types of weaponsmith. The clan in charge of armor is, and I'm going to type this so I don't completely butcher it, but it's Thrasgod. They are the armor smiths. Those are the clans that you're going to have to deal with. There are many other clans that are in the city. There's some that do other assorted things. The politics of the city are pretty cutthroat. Best to stay out of them if you can.
Well, that's kind of a general thing of just real life, just stay out of politics.
The Darrow rule themselves by a council of savants. Type that out as well. Savants are it's an underdark version of a shaman, a not quite full wizard spellcaster, but they are powerful. The Darrow are psychics. They have psionic powers due to their
brilliant.
They're tortured. They were tortured for countless eons by the
That's right, yeah, the
mind flayers.
Mm-hmm.
So they do have some psionic powers. Last but not least of the clans is something that not a lot of people know. There is a clan of stone giants that live inside of Gracklestug. Cairngorm clan is a clan of stone giants. They have a generational life debt to Clan Steel Shadow, the clan of the king, the Deep King. Stone giants aren't violent unless provoked. They are very spiritual. They tend to keep to themselves, but they, in general, can be seen walking around. Last unusual. Go ahead. Do you have a question?
Yeah, you said that the Deep King was the boss of Clan Ironsmith, or did I have that wrong?
Steel Shadow.
Okay, Clan Steel Shadow.
Hemeth is from Clan Ironhead. They're both weaponsmith clans.
Evan's a part of Clan Iron Shadow. Or
Ironhead.
Ironhead. They're weaponsmiths too.
Yes. Since you're, these are the ones that I'm mentioning because they're the ones you're going to need to deal with to get weapons and armor made.
Yeah, I'm just making sure I get all pertinent information down. I'm stickler for details.
I understand. He can't give you every single bit of information there is to get about an entire city, but he's given you what he considers to be pertinent. There's bound to be stuff he doesn't care he cover, but you're going to want to absorb this.
Yeah.
So one other thing you're going to see that's going to be concerning to you that you need to be aware of. Gracklestug is the home to a red dragon. All of their forges are kept alight every day by a red dragon who goes around the city and blows dragon breath, which is some of the hottest fire on the planet. He is the Wyrmsmith. He's an adult red dragon whose job it is to keep the forges burning at temperatures no other city can match. You can't melt certain metals at temperatures that are non-magical. This allows the Dwergar to harden their weapons to a level that no one, not even the Drow, can match. So you will see a red dragon walking around the city blowing fire into forges. He is the Wyrmsmith.
That's pretty dope, actually.
He is revered, and he has an entire group, an organization inside of Gracklestug, whose job it is to keep him happy. They are the keepers of the flame. That is the gist of what he wants you to know. It's just some basic information. The goal for you should be to get in, buy the armor, and get out. The politics of Gracklestug are dangerous. Assassinations. One other point of interest is that you should not be flamboyant. Hemeth, travels a lot. He sees the flamboyancy of other races. Jewelry, rings, earrings, wearing something, a pin on your armor, wearing a pin on your clothes is considered rude and insulting to Dwergar. It is unnecessary design, unnecessary adornment. It's flashy and fancy, and it's considered insulting to dwarves. They're pure function over fashion.
So
They
Queen Ophelia
only
needs
care
to ditch
about
her.
how it works.
So Queen Ophelia needs to ditch her crown then, at least for the time being.
Ditch? No. Put away for a couple days? Probably.
Yeah.
I like that she took the time to push the button before she sighed.
I'll put it away for now.
So now he wants to give you a chance to ask any questions you have.
Is the red dragon aware of the black dragon that was sent to us? I mean, does he even really care?
The current Wyrmsmith is a dragon named Thunder. Can't even get it out. He is a dragon. He doesn't concern himself with dragon issues. He keeps himself inside. His name is Thimber Chowd. He keeps himself interested in the politics of the city.
All right. Uh, so if we're not allowed to, walk out from the docks, how are we supposed to do business? I mean, unless the business is conducted entirely in the dock area.
There is a large amount of business in the dock area. He doubts
Okay.
you'll be able to place an order for magical armor in that fashion. He can't answer that. He can try and place some of the orders for you, is his plan. And
Okay.
then he will consider that to be a full repayment of his debt to you if he can place the orders and get you in and out of Gracklestug.
Okay. I hate to ask him of this, but is there a way we can maybe set up a if we can maybe get contact with someone in terms of a representative from Clan Thrasgrod
For your
for the
affliction?
well no, not for the affliction, for the magical armor.
Yes, he's considering making those contacts and placing your order
Okay.
to be his repayment.
Okay. No, as far as the magical the magical malady that afflicts me, we'll find some other method on that. I don't want to burden you with anything else that you've already done that for us. I mean, you've already done enough for us here with this.
Fair enough.
So, on a meta
Okay,
level,
so
we're very close to level 5 as it is anyway. So once we hit that, we'll be able to take care of that on our own anyway. So,
does anybody have any questions about this?
Nothing particular.
Okay, so what we're going to do before we get started is advance to level 5.
Oh,
hell
shit.
yes! I knew he was getting close to level 5. I didn't know how close.
You could
Close enough. So before you guys start that, I want to send you a couple pictures because I think they're really cool pictures. This is kind of the sketch they provide DMs to share with players of what an average street in Gracklestug is going to look like. It's just the gold are the pipes. They have to be specially made to take the heat of a red dragon. And it's just something that provides a little bit of flavor for you guys as you're going to be, because when you see the map, you're going to see that the buildings look like, I mean, they literally look like they're forges. So it's worth. And there's one more picture I do want to show you before we level up, and it is, if I can spell Grack correctly, here is a picture of Gracklestug. And this is an actual image of the city inside of the cavern.
Very cool.
So, with that being said, I'm going to help you guys level up. The intent was, I expected you guys to reach Gracklestug and hit level 5 today. I think you guys probably could have killed that dragon, but by himself, not by himself, I think you would have probably not done well.
Yeah.
Also, we had most
Severe
of us
wounds.
were yeah.
Yeah. Well, that
No
was what I
magic.
was saying. I'm like, yeah, and where we are, in the state that we're in, we're not going. We're not.
So
I'm not confident.
to level up, I'm going to just go down the line starting left to right. Ophelia, I just sent you the sorcerer thing. You're going to want to drag that over and drop it on your character sheet. Say again.
I said okay.
Oh my God.
I'm looking at it. Let's see. There's not going to be a huge change for you right away. The main thing you're going to do is get some new spells. You're going to get one new spell, and you're going to be able to trade one out. And you have another flexible casting point. The points you use for your stuff. Do you mind if I just bump that up for you real quick since I already have it open?
Go ahead. Thank you.
No problem. And once you bump that up on your character sheet, looks like you did. Your hit points should go up automatically. Looks like they did. And you are good. We'll deal with spells a little later. I have a new resource. I'm gonna see if my friend will let me. A player of mine from my Monday game and a friend of mine apparently has like 5 Warhammer armies. He sold one of them for $850.
Holy shit.
And then turned around and just went to D&D Beyond and just literally dropped $400 something, bought every book on D&D.
Wow.
So
That's
I'm
pretty
probably
cool.
Who did that?
Seth. He's a buddy of mine. He's the one who worked really closely with Eddie. He was the most underhanded, evil, fucked up player I've seen in a while. Betrayed the party like twice a month. And by the way, he's a pastor in Alabama.
Why am I not surprised?
He actually just quit the job as a pastor because he
he did D&D got him to do some soul searching.
they actually changed leaders at the church, and he wasn't from Alabama. He was from Louisville, Kentucky. So he took a bookkeeping accountant job in Kentucky and just moved back to be with his family. But he was the shadiest motherfucker I have ever seen. I think you're good, Ophelia, except for spells, and I'm gonna show you that D&D Beyond. I want to show you that because I think you'll like that. I'm gonna try and make it available to everybody. Kosjurkis, yours just like Ophelia, no change in cantrips. Your proficiency. So at level 5, your proficiency modifiers are going to go up to 3, so that you're gonna see all of your skills that have a star get a +1. All of your saves and all of your attacks get a +1. So that is a cool thing. You get 2 new spells, and they are level 3 possible.
Yep.
So you don't get to trade yours out. You get to add 2 to your sheet. I'll let you look it over and decide when you want, which ones you want. Ophelia, the same's going to be true for you. I encourage you not to decide yet because it is a big decision.
Now, I don't have enough money to start copying
So
spells
you
from...
don't have to pay that money
Mhm.
for the
Well, no,
2
no.
new spells, just so you know.
Yeah, no. But like for future reference.
Right. Gracklestug's going to be your guys' first city. It's almost always the first place players go in this campaign where they get to buy stuff, do stuff. I mean, at this point, you escaped and you ran and you ran and you ran. You got to Slew Blue Dob and you took like half a breath, and then the thing gets leveled by a giant ass demon, fucking 2-headed monkey demon. And then you're stuck on boats being chased by drow. When you get to Gracklestug, it's the first opportunity you have to actually breathe. There's a number of reasons. One of the things Hemeth, I actually neglected to tell you, one of the things Hemeth would let you guys know is that the drow and the Dwergar of Gracklestug are on friendly terms. But they're not allies. So the drow aren't going to lead an army through the gates of Gracklestug. 1, they couldn't. 2, they wouldn't because they're not going to make enemies of the Dwergar. So there are probably drow diplomats inside of Gracklestug. He has no idea if they're looking for you or not. But if they do see you, they're not going to be able to openly capture you. You probably should do your best not to be seen by them if you can. But it's a little bit of a reprieve that they can't walk up on the streets and attack you. So
there's a way we can like just at least get some cloaks or something that we can just disguise ourselves with.
It's possible. In terms of if it becomes to the point where we need to do the spells, we can. I just don't think it's necessary since we have 2 weeks between the games because it's such a big decision.
Well, there is one that I'm gonna get right off the bat because I promised.
If you have any question about it, what, Fireball?
I promised myself I'd get Fireball.
Just picked up Fireball. Let's see. Monk, level 5. Your damage goes up to 1d6. That is important.
Yep.
So, do you want to change it? I have it. I can change it real quick.
Please, if you wouldn't mind.
I don't mind at all. It'll take me 2 seconds. Changed.
Sweet.
Now, this is important. Your claws do 1d4 plus 3 slashing damage. Your unarmed strike does 1d6 bludgeoning damage. Your claws are no longer the same as your punch, but they are a different type of damage. That's yours to manage.
Understood.
5 key points. For the monk, you get an extra attack.
Yes. I also just posted a GIF in the Discord as well. It's like,
I saw it. Stunning strike is a great ability.
Yes, I was looking forward to that too.
I've seen it used to devastating effect on some people. That being said, let's see. Do you mind if I go ahead and add one more to your power group for key points?
Go for it, yeah. Sweet.
I already have this stuff open, so it saves you guys headache with the coding. Now, the only thing I'm going to mention to you in terms of extra attack, if you, on your turn, you get your action, which involves 2 attacks.
Yep.
Now, your bonus action is either martial arts or flurry of blows.
I know we were over that. I know martial arts is just the 3rd attack. Flurry of blows is the 2, but I do not get both. I'm aware of this. So
it is in the event of you choosing to ready an action. I'm going to ready an action. I'm going to punch the first guy I see.
Yeah.
You only get 1 attack.
Okay.
As your reaction.
All right.
So that is something that fighters, monks, paladins, people that get 2 attacks get real butthurt about that. But you can't take a readied action to attack a guy that walks through a door and then get your 2 attacks and then your bonus act. It's a reaction. Yeah, no. You get 1 attack. Boom.
That's fine.
So readied action becomes less useful to you at level 5.
All right. Sounds good.
Other than that, you're pretty much good to go. I'm going to let them level themselves up. Are you okay waiting on the spells, Kosjurkis, or have you taken the time to look at them?
I'm just looking through right now, taking a little peep.
Okay.
I chose one right off the bat because I said I would. And it's a surprise.
So I'm gonna I intend to just keep going with the game, and then if you guys get in a fight, we'll probably stop and let you guys, if you pick a fight. I wouldn't advise it. But D&D Beyond is a tool I'm gonna try and get, but assuming there isn't that type of thing, it would be better to use 5e tools, which I think you guys told me about, so I have no reason to share it back to you. But as you guys are heading, is there anything you guys want to do before you reach Gracklestug? The City of Blades. No?
No, I'm just looking forward to my next level up, and that's the one that's gonna be real fun.
Tony, would you say that we had it was kind of like we leveled up on the way over?
It is. Before you reach Gracklestug, you will have leveled up.
Okay, give me 2 seconds.
Why?
It's important. I got some important business.
Some important business.
Business for you.
Is it? Is it really?
Yeah. So on the boat ride over, Kosjurkis was studying the other spell book that he had. And a little bit before we all arrived upon the town of Gracklestug, he kind of looks at Spirit and waddles on over. And then he casts fire. No, I'm kidding.
Betrayal.
Betrayed. And then he says some weird shit in Draconic, and his hands start to glow, and he pats you a few times, like he just keeps patting. He casts remove curse upon you.
Huzzah!
Tony, what
Nice.
happens?
Thank you, little
He is
friend.
no longer cursed by mummy rot.
Hooray!
Yay! Sweet. Max HP is back to normal. Huzzah.
Whatever it was.
It was 31 on level 4, but apparently it's, I guess.
So
Yeah.
let me check. This is why I have you guys tell me what you took for an ability score improvement. You bastard, you didn't even put it on there. What did you do for your ability score improvement? Did you take Sentinel?
Yeah, it was, I actually have it on my notes. Yeah, Sentinel feat for 4th level.
All right, I'll put it right there. Okay. So let's see. You should have 8 plus 2, so you should have 10 at level 1.
Mhm.
And then every level after 1, you should get 7. So
Okay,
4
yep.
times 7 and plus 10. You can do the math.
4 times 7.
It's 28. You should have 38 hit points.
Okay. Yeah, I'm at 34 right now. I'll go ahead and I'll change my max to 38. Okay. Fixed.
Okay.
And I'll
So-
make sure to remove that. All right.
All right. So, reaching Gracklestug. First thing you guys can hear as you guys are sailing and the water is lapping at the boat edge is hammers. As you get closer and closer, you hear voices. People calling various sounds. You hear people talking. It is a very loud city. It is definitely jarring to you guys how incredibly busy this city is. You've been in the Underdark. It's been people are just nowhere at all. It's very, very, very jarring. Gracklestug, just taking a look at it, you're probably guessing it's somewhere around 50 to 200,000 people. So that is jarring to you to start with. And here is, well, let me alter your map because you can't see the whole city. So here is your map to start with. For those of you,
Omnipotence on myself.
do you?
I see the whole city.
Do you? Here's a tip.
Oh no.
So this is going to be your map for a while. I'm going to be sharing it as soon as I finish unmasking the portions that you see. This is not a battle map, obviously. It's not intended to be a battle map. In the event of you starting a battle, I'll use a different map. I'll clean it up a little bit. Here we go. This is the Dwarven City of Blades, Gracklestug. It is the Docks District is what you are restricted to, which is what I am unmasking. And you guys are going to need to zoom in quite a bit. I'll put a circle on the map, a purple circle on where you should zoom your map in on. I'm going to zoom in on that, and you don't need to zoom into the point of being super, super close. Just that should be the general focus of your area, because that's where you're going to be trying to enter the city at. So as you are nearing the city, you are going to attempt to come in by boat. The first decision you need to make is if you want to come in openly as traders, pay the fee. It's going to be a daily dock fee, and submit yourselves to inspections and questions about your business. Or do you want to try to sneak in? If you try to sneak in, that will be considered breaking the rules. And if you get caught, you'll probably be arrested and your things will be impounded. If you have a bad answer to some of the questions, you will be arrested and your things will be impounded. Think it over.
What does Hammett recommend that we do?
He would recommend that you sneak in and not get caught. If you're not confident in your abilities to do that, then approach openly. He can't stress to you enough. He doesn't know what you went through with the drow, but outsiders are considered inferior by Dwergar. They won't go out of their way to be cruel to you, but they won't and spend any extra effort to help you either. So if they feel like you're being dishonest in some of the questions, they'll just arrest you rather than try to figure out what you're being dishonest about. It's just not worth their effort. So your best bet is to not be questioned. If you don't feel like you're going to be able to sneak in, it might be preferable.
How much is the dock fee per day to, if we were to approach openly?
About a gold piece.
A gold piece.
Per boat.
Per boat.
That's not too bad.
And it's just okay.
Because
we don't have anything in here to need to worry about if we were to get inspected. To my knowledge, anyway.
we only have like the trade goods. The only thing that could be a problem is that we're escapes drow slaves, which may or may not hiss off the lads. What does Hammett think about that?
I get the feeling that if we're upfront and honest that, hey, we're traders on behalf of a Kobold colony, that they're not going to be very happy with us on that either. Especially since the Kobold elders stated that they were not willing to do business with us, or they were not willing to do business with them outright.
But it's more that if a kobold comes in, it's like if a rat walked in your house and tried to have a conversation with you, you'd probably stomp on it.
Yeah.
Well, Tasha would, but
I mean, they don't have to know that we're, escaped slave. All they know is we're outsiders, we're traders. That's all they really need to know. I mean, unless they've got, like, freaking wanted posters of our faces up on the walls, which I doubt they would, but it would not be a, outside the realm of possibility. I don't really see much of a point, or I don't really see much of a problem in approaching openly. I mean, there's arguments to be had on either way. I mean, I'm good either way, honestly.
I think there's nothing wrong with approaching openly.
Yeah, I think we can try it. Approaching openly.
I see that we all live together, Warframe. I was actually thinking of that very song when we first opened with Velkin Bell. It's like what we would be singing as slaves.
Singing railroad songs.
Yeah. We all live together. That's a good song, by the way. Real good song.
I don't even play Warframe, and I love that song.
I do. I play Warframe every Sunday with my buds, so.
Yeah, one of my buddies was like, "Hey, I think you'll like this song," and I'm like, "Wow, I really do. Yeah. You're right."
So everybody decided on openly?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
Just so long as we're not flamboyant about it.
it's true.
I mean, I think we're all wearing pretty much just like rags anyway. So.
Yeah.
Armor and rags.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So you make your way to the area. You take yourselves in, and let me put that purple back on, and you moor your boat here. Shortly after arriving, a dwarf walks up, takes a look at your boat. He doesn't seem shocked. You're not probably the people he deals with every single day, but you're definitely abnormal, but not something he doesn't see once or twice a month. You're definitely outside of the norm. As you make your way in, you guys pull up, and he walks up and in a gruff voice says, "Cargo."
I say,
Trade bars.
traders. I just introduce ourselves. I say, all we've got is the weapons and the gear that
trade
we've got on
bars.
ours. I'm sorry?
The trade bars.
Trade bars. And the trade bars, yes.
Purpose of visit.
Business.
He kind of looks up at you with
We,
a not entertained look.
I just say we're just here to conduct trade. We're looking to get some armor crafted. We don't seem to
Intended
cause trouble.
intended length of visit.
I kind of hesitate and kind of look over at Hemeth and the others like, how long do you guys think we're going to be here? Because I honestly hadn't considered that.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
What does Hemeth say? He would know. I have no idea how long it takes to make
One
armor.
10-day.
There you go.
All
He
right.
makes an indication.
Yeah, 1 to 10 days.
1 to 10 days.
He marks down 10 days.
Yeah, 10 days. Yeah, that'll be fine.
Fair enough. He makes an indication, says, "Disembark, stand by for inspection."
Fair enough. I get off the boat.
Yep.
So a number of stone guard, Hemeth lets you know is the name of the city guard, stand by, and a number of people come over. A couple of them start searching your boat. Two of them come over and start making a motion for you guys to be inspected. Like they want to inspect your personal equipment. There's no real skill checks, but they're make sure you are not bringing anything contraband into the city.
I say, yeah, I stand aside. I put my arms out. Just total TSA. Just, yeah, pat me down.
Yep.
Anybody resisting?
No.
Okay. And they finish inspecting you guys. They don't find anything weird, anything outnumbered, or anything strange. After they look you all over, they exit the boat, and the inspector comes over. He looks at you and he says, "Trade organization affiliation."
Oh fuck. Say independent.
We're independent.
He says that you will need an independent trader's license that will cost you 25 gold.
We can probably make that happen.
I say that won't be a problem.
Yeah,
He
we have
tells
more than
you
25. We have like 60 gold. We have like 100 or
Yeah.
so gold in the party sheet, so we're probably fine.
he tells you have 24 hours to obtain an independent trader's license from the time you have docked. He tells you that in order to obtain that, you will need to see, and he makes a motion towards a specific location in the city. He lets you know that there is a Stone Guard outpost in the Dark Lake District. He tells you, I've been slowly masking things here, just a little bit. He basically tells you that in order to get your license, you're going to need to go to. Let me pull this up here. There it is. Okay. Let me make a circle over it. This area right here, this building right here, is the Stone Guard headquarters. You might have to zoom out a little bit. You need to go there after you've acquired lodging, file for an independent business license, pay the fee, and return it to him within 24 hours. If it is not in his hands, your boat becomes property of the Stone Guard. Do you understand these terms?
Yes. I
You,
said, shoot, give me 2 hours. I'll see if I can get that taken care of now.
No, don't do that. What are you doing?
No, I don't say that out loud. I'm thinking that to myself.
damn. All right. And he holds out a piece of paper for you to sign.
All right, and I go ahead and I just put my paw print on it.
Oh my god.
And
He
then
is unamused by you,
no,
and he walks away.
I scratch my name like next to the paw print. So
Jesus Christ. We're gonna get arrested.
He walks away, going on his happy way. As you guys come to the realization that you've made it inside of Gracklestug, the first thing that hits you as you calm down a little bit is a wave of heat slams against you as the acrid smoke. One second. As the acrid smoke rises and you start coughing, it chokes the air out of your lungs. There are probably hundreds and hundreds of forges inside of this city. As I said, it is a carved out uh, peninsula, a chunk of rock. So there's rock above you, there's rocks to the right of you, to the left of you, there's rocks below your feet. The whole area is rock. The only opening is the Dark Lake. And as you take a look, now that the stress of that is subsiding, you come to realize that this area is choked full of smoke and things of that nature, and it is just washing out over the Dark Lake in clouds of black. The Dark Lake spreads out beyond this area, but in front of you is a jumble of buildings and streets reflecting the light of countless hundreds of thousands of fires burning across the city, and hollowed out columns and stalagmites through the streets are crowded. You can move easily through them, but there is a surging throng of buyers, merchants, slaves, and you're not the only outsiders here. So even though this is a dwarven city, from just where you're standing, you can spy drow slaves, drow people. There are drow. Now there is a obvious difference between you look out and you see a drow elf. They're not obviously going to all be followers or workers of the high priestess. But you do see drow in the form of merchants running stalls here or there, slaves, slavers buying slaves. You see Svirfneblin, Darrow, orcs, kobolds, humans, elves from the surface. Every race you can see, the shouting of people blends into the sound of the distant hammering, which just basically creates a constant din of noise echoing over your ears, just always there. It's like standing next to a speaker at a concert and trying to have a conversation. It is loud. It is thick with smoke, and you are now free to move about the city.
Well, let's get this ticket
yeah,
stamped so we don't go straight to jail.
let's see. Yeah, that's the first order of business. if I can walk around openly, I will go ahead. I will make my way immediately to that office and see if we can't get that license taken care of.
Yep.
Okay. You make your way over to that area, the Overlake Hold, as it is known. Let me scroll my map over here. This is right here.
Mhm.
There we go. I'll mark it again for you. And we just had a power fluctuation. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yep.
Weird. Anything happen to you in there, Tasha?
Yeah, my power went out in here too.
Yeah, it looks like some of it went out. I'm not sure. My monitor came back on. I think it was just a flicker on one circuit. So we'll just keep going with that. Now, the Dark Lake, or I'm sorry, the Overlake Hold is a big building, and it has a number of stone guards outside of it. And as you make your way up, there is a dwarf, very strict looking, very stern. He takes a look at you and just waits expectantly for you to state your business. Doesn't even acknowledge you with a word.
Here to get an independent trading license.
He kind of looks down at his book, pulls it out, says name,
Indomitable spirit.
organization name.
Did we honestly have an organization title? I just
I
tell him
don't
the
think you're the Harple's Heroes anymore.
no, I just tell him the SBFC.
He scribbles it down. It says 25 gold.
I fork over the 25 gold from the party sheet.
Okay. He takes it. He weighs the gold because different gold pieces from different areas weigh different amounts. He takes it. He stamps it. He hands it to you and says, "You may go."
All right, pleasure doing business with you. Turn around, walk away. Now I just
You
need
guys
to
make.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, now I just need to find where that dude was that met us at the boat and just hand him over the license.
Pretty straightforward. You show him
Yep.
the license. He marks down a couple numbers off of it, makes a mark on the actual license, and hands it back to you and walks away.
All right.
You can, I mean, from what you can tell, these dwarves go about their daily business in the most curt manner possible. There's no hello. It's what do you want? How do you want it? And then
Yep.
when business is done, they walk away. They waste no time on pleasantries. They waste no time on conversations.
Hey, straightforward and to the point. I said,
You
that's cool with
have,
me.
and now where are you guys wanting to go?
Well, hey, at this point, I guess the only thing to do it would be to just obtain lodgings for the time being.
Okay, where are you going?
That I'm leaving up to the rest of the party. I'm good wherever we go.
Know of anywhere?
I mean, for all I care, we could stay on the boat.
Like, what is typical for travelers to do?
Typical for travelers to do is to seek residence at an inn. There are a couple options as far as inns, but the one that's going to be most accepting of non-Dwergar, Hemeth tells you, is right over here. I'm marking them on the map for you. It is the Golboron's Lair. It is one of the few that takes non-Dwergar guests. He translates into your language as the dwarven word, or the undercommon dwarven word for a bullet. You guys remember way back in the last campaign, those creatures that could swim underground and then jumped up and wrecked the party a couple times, I think.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say
That was,
wreck.
well, they sent you scurrying back out, so I mean, it seemed wreck related. There you go. There's a picture of a bullet for you.
Yep.
So, what do you guys think? Do you guys want to wander around the city for 15 minutes, or do you want to stop here until we get the other two back, and then you guys can start fresh with rooms in Gracklestug at the start of next game?
I'm going to call it here myself.
Yeah, I could do
'Cause-
that.
Hemeth is going to depart. I'm sorry, Tasha. Go ahead.
I was just saying it's fine.
Hemeth is going to go his happy way after he shows you guys to the gold bronze lair, and he will go and try and start making connections to get your stuff done.
Mm-hmm.
And that being said, I think you guys are right. Let's call it here. I will work with you guys. The server's going to be mostly on my my Monday game, because they actually finished Curse of Strahd last week. So they're all building brand new characters at level 1. So I'm trying to keep that up on and off. If you guys need it up to drag spells over to your character sheets for you, Mal or Tasha, I can bring it up. But otherwise, we'll see you guys 2 weeks from today.
Sounds good to me.
You guys have a good week. Thanks for coming.
All right. Thank you.
See ya.
And don't forget, if you do want to play, they are running those free games. I don't know how much you guys like to play, but if you have free time, a bunch of one-shots, and that Fantasy Grounds College, if you want to run a game on Fantasy Grounds, that's a great place to do it. Or even play in a bunch of games. I've been really impressed with how friendly they are. But let me know if you need anything. You guys have fun.
All right. Thanks.
Bedu.